to the next session here at net.Share. My name is Kobus Burgers. I'm the Managing Director of NETCB. If you've not seen my previous introduction, this session that we're going to present to you now, we're going to showcase some of NETCB's solutions and technologies that we will be presenting to you, but it's not only myself, it is my entire team that's going to be assisting me, and as we go along, I will call those team members to the stage to come and present and show what we want to show and tell you. Now, obviously, a lot of the content that we're going to demonstrate to you, the demonstrations will be very quick and short. It is up to you to attend the sessions that will be dealing with those specific technologies later on. So you can almost regard this as a teaser to attend some of these capabilities. And then you're welcome to visit our booth, the sponsored booths, or attend sessions to delve deeper in each and every one of the things that we're going to demonstrate to you now. Now let's see who's first in this. Okay, we're going to demonstrate to you the GroupWise video conferencing add-on. Some of you are using GroupWise, and it's one of the solutions that we developed ourselves. And I'm going to call Justin and Bongani to the stage. So let me quickly bring them on. And let's quickly get okay, I think it's just Bongani that is on this one. Bongani, you are here.
Yes.
I hope everyone can hear Bongani. Can I hear you, Bongani?
Yes.
I hope everyone else. Yes, now I hear you well, loud and clear. Okay, you quickly welcome to give us a quick show, 2-minute show.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kobus. Hello, everyone. So I'm Bongani Kama, the Director of Software Engineering at NETCB, and today I'll be presenting to you our group-wide video conferencing add-on, and I'll also demonstrate how it streamlines the scheduling of VC meetings within GroupWise, integrating platforms such as Microsoft Teams, WebEx, and GoToMeeting, and many more. Plus, you need to stay tuned for a sneak peek of our advancement or improvements on our upcoming release, which is version 2.0, and it will be launched during the course of this week. So thank you very much.
Okay, Bongani, are you going to show us anything else?
No, Kobus, I just wanted to highlight
to attend your session. Okay, so just be aware of the GroupWise video conferencing add-on. That is the initial dashboard of the video conferencing add-on. So make sure that you attend the sessions, and I think there are 2 sessions on the GroupWise video conferencing add-on in case it's conflicting with one of the sessions you want to attend. Thank you, Bongani. So let's quickly take you away. Now let's see who is next. Next up, we're going to quickly show you something that for some of you that have migrated or are migrated to SharePoint and would like to move some of your documents. In this case, we're going to quickly show you a tool that we have to move Vibe to SharePoint. I'm going to bring Spipelo in. Spipelo, welcome to the stage. What are you going to quickly show us? You're still muted, Spipelo. Okay, the stage is yours. You can share your screen.
Thank you. Yes, my name is Spipelo Butelezi. I am going to showcase. Oh, am I?
Yes, you're on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you loud and clear.
Oh, okay. The
To share your screen, it will replace my screen.
no, sorry. I'm going to showcase the Vibe to SharePoint migration tool. So
as you can see, we have a tool here that allows us to take documents from a certain source, and in this case, we take documents from a system such as Vibe. And yes, you can stay on that screen, Hello. So we can actually migrate documents from the one system. People, you can keep that one screen. You were fine. Just keep yes, just stay there. Just stay there. And using this tool, we can very quickly, well, depending on how many documents you have, we can migrate your documents with all the metadata onto SharePoint. Apart from this tool, we also have some other tools that can allow you to export documents from group-wise document management. We can migrate documents from group-wise document management to Vibe. So we have a whole set of document migration tools, and very soon also now, if for clients that may be implementing the OpenText ECM solutions, we are going to make sure our tools are capable of working with the OpenText ECM platforms as well for customers that want to migrate into those environments. Thank you, Spipelo. Now, one of the things that we quite often have in organizations is the huge amount of money that they spend on Office applications. We have hear from our clients that it's almost impossible for them to always upgrade to the latest versions, etc. And I just want to share something very briefly, because I have a whole session tomorrow where we talk about various open source applications that you should use in your organization. And I know some of our clients are aware of this, some of our clients have never heard of it, but systems such as LibreOffice, for example, is a mechanism or an Office application suite, which I can quickly bring up onto this side, that allows you to do everything that you are used to within any normal Office application. It may not have all the bells and whistles that Microsoft Office Suite or Office applications offer you, but if you really look at the majority of your users in your organization, they quite often only make use of the Office applications to review documents, make some edit changes, and send it on. And they never, ever make use of any of the advanced features that you may find in the Office applications. We have seen how some clients over the years started to save costs by implementing LibreOffice and only purchase the Microsoft Office applications for those users that actually need it. In our own organization, we make extensive use of LibreOffice. In fact, everything, even the presentations you're seeing, most of them will be running on LibreOffice using the Impress component. And in my open source session tomorrow, I will delve a little bit deeper into the different components of LibreOffice. So this is really something that you need to take note of. In fact, it can save you, if you're a very large organization, it can save you millions of rands by starting making use of LibreOffice. Another system that is also being showcased at our event is from Liquid. It is also application management and making access to applications very quickly available to the people within your organization. We use it quite extensively within our own organization, and I will briefly show you here that I can get access to a host of my applications categorized as my business applications. You can even see the LibreOffice icons on the application, the developer applications, and support applications that are available. And there's a specific session presented by Liquid themselves, so I recommend that you actually go and attend those sessions. I'm going to bring Justin to the stage now. Justin, I'm going to talk about what we call desk alerts, and desk alerts themselves will also be presenting a session later on today. And but Justin will give you a quick view of what this is all about.
Hi everyone, welcome again to net.Share. It's great to have you guys here. So for those of you who are struggling with getting what I like to term guaranteed important messages and alerts out to your user base, whether it's all of them or a group of individuals, this is a very, very comprehensive and cost-effective way of doing it. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail because desk alerts themselves will also be providing you with a far more comprehensive session, so I encourage you to join that. But just in terms of giving you a quick, simple sneak peek, as you can see, if I click on the alerts over here, there are many different types of alerts you can send, from pop-up alerts through to emergency alerts. You can also implement quizzes and surveys and polls. And it also supports digital signage equipment, so it's great for marketing events, or if you have display areas at any type of conference or within your own office environment, etc. They also offer a number of different types of skins, so you can customize it with your own company logo, etc. I'm just going to give you an example of what a pop-up alert would look like. So I've selected only myself to send this to you. There are a number of additional users that I could select if I wanted to. And I will simply send this pop-up alert to myself. Give it a second. You'll see just now I actually receive, there it is. So as you can see, I've actually even inserted the logo over there. This could be your company logo that you populate, and you can position that wherever you want. This could be full screen. And even if the device that you're sending it to, and it supports both Windows devices, desktops, as well as Android and iOS mobile devices. Even if it's in a lock screen password protected mode, that alert will come through to that individual. And as soon as they've read the alert and they've closed it down with or without an acknowledgement, you can schedule it either way. So if it's a very important alert and you want to ensure that users have read it and acknowledged it, and you can draw a report on that, as soon as they've acknowledged it or read the alert and closed it down, essentially their device will go back to the exact same state that it was in before. So this is just a sneak peek, and please join the desk alert session as per the schedule. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Justin. I'm going to bring Hendrik to the stage. Just quickly want to share a screen here quickly.
Okay.
So I mentioned during my keynote session that quite a few things around your security posture and having visibility, and Hendrik will take us through that now.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody can hear me and see my screen. Thank you very much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Yes, as Kobus mentioned, so at I think 4:15 this afternoon, I have a session specifically with regards to gaining security visibility with our very own security and compliance monitoring tool. So just to give you a quick view of what that tool looks like, I'm not going to go into details, but essentially the system is built into these various feature areas. So the first one being security events, being able to ingest and analyze and report on security events throughout your various systems. These systems may include web servers, web applications, desktop devices, server devices, firewalls, etc. Ingesting all of those information and gaining insight in what's actually happening within your environment, being able to see when people use passwords that's not relevant or fail to authenticate, brute force attacks, all those type of events. Under integrity monitoring, that is where we monitor changes to directories, file systems, file changes. Also for the Windows environments, if you make changes to the registry, because a lot of the security configuration for Windows is actually maintained in the registry, we also monitor those changes. So being able to pinpoint exactly who changed the file, when, and what was changed, etc. We also do policy monitoring, so you can set various policies within your devices, what's allowed to be done, what's not allowed, and as soon as something deviates from those policies, alerts are generated and reported, etc. System auditing, being able to audit events on systems, on the various systems. So, in the case of something crashing abruptly or service stopping abruptly, all of those type of events will also be recorded. Being able to assess the security configuration of your environment. So a lot of our customers focus a lot on, when they deploy new applications, etc. A lot of the focus is on the quicker you can deploy it and the return on investment. And very little regard is given towards security. So this will allow you to actually assess the security associated with those systems, score them, but also being able to understand how to remediate those security misconfigurations, essentially guiding you to a hardened environment. We can also do vulnerability reporting, so reporting on different vulnerabilities that's located within your systems. We have a very tight integration with the MITRE ATT&CK framework, if you are familiar with that or if you are using that within your environment. We also have a whole section around compliance, being able to report on your compliance to things like NIST 853, which is very closely aligned to something like ISO 27001, as well as GDPR, which is very closely aligned to something like POPIA, etc., from a PII and regulatory perspective. Okay, so I'm hoping you guys will join me at the session this afternoon. And I look forward to seeing you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Hendrik, stay here. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to talk about co-editing quickly.
Okay.
And I believe you received an invitation to let we edit on a document earlier today.
Let me see if I go to my mailbox. I see that there's a folder that's been shared. Let me see. That's a net.Share folder. I'm looking for an email from Vibe, Cobus. From Filer.
Yes. That is correct.
Let me just see. Do you know when, more or less, it was sent?
Just filter on it. Otherwise, I will send you a link again. But let me start with this. I think this is one of the aspects. There's a technology from OpenText called Filer, and not many people know about all its capabilities. They think it's just a file sharing platform. It is actually a system that can provide a fully comprehensive private cloud environment that allows you to keep your files, irrespective of where they're stored, on which servers they're stored, locally on premise, but give your users a cloud experience when they interact and share these files, whether they share it via Outlook, whether they share it via GroupWise. We don't care. It works with all of those different platforms. It works with Microsoft Office. It works with LibreOffice. We don't really care. I'm just going to bring up the display quickly.
Cobus, is it the implementation plan and report template?
Indeed it is.
Okay. Would you like me to share my screen?
Okay, I'm already sharing my screen on my side.
Okay, excellent.
So I'm going to quickly log on to my Filer environment. And I'm going to locate a document because I invited you to edit with me. And I'm not sure if Justin is still here. Justin, I think I sent it to you as well. You can actually join us as well if you need to. I've quickly brought you on board.
Yes, I do have it. I'll quickly log into Filer. Just give me a second.
And you'll see that there's a net.Share folder. And I decide I quickly we need to prepare a plan of action with a for a customer. But Hendrik and myself, we're not sitting in the same office. We're sitting far away from each other. He's on the other side of Pretoria almost. Let's quickly, I'm going to edit this document, and I'm going to start editing here. And so, Hendrik, you're welcome to start editing the document on your side as well.
Okay.
Net.Share on this side. Plan of action document. I can see Justin, and I can see Hendrik. If you see,
yes, I can see everything that you're doing, Cobus.
And yeah, I can see Hendrik is typing. I'm also now typing on the same exact.
Okay, I'll type something else. I'm going to type on top of business impact.
So there by project, you can see I've added content, and Cobus is seeing it in real time.
There we go.
And I can see where Justin is typing now as well, and I can see no need to type your name.
Just thought I'd do it for fun.
So you can see this allows multiple people to collaborate at the same time on the same document. It's a very powerful platform that allows us to collaborate, work on the same document. People can be working on different sections of the document, reviewing people's code, or while someone is typing, you can fix their typing mistakes, etc., but all in real time. This is a very powerful aspect that is being provided by Filer, and very few organizations actually know they may already own it, and they may even be able to use it already without actually knowing it. Because Filer is not just for file sharing, like sharing, etc. But you can edit files directly within this environment. Obviously, your Filer environment needs to be set up correctly. And we quite often find that Filer has been set up as a single appliance implementation, which is just really for only a few users. A proper Filer implementation is set up correctly with the indexing servers, the co-editing server, etc. And you need to make sure that all these different components are correctly architected and configured in such a way that it provides your users with a cloud experience. We already know that Filer can be used when you have very large attachments that you need to send via your email system, that it can automatically attach a link and share the link that is transparent to the recipient when they receive the link. I will be talking more about that during the GroupEye session of the latest release of GroupEye. On the new enhancements that's been brought out in the release of GroupEye that was released yesterday. But as you can see, I can even go and say I quickly want to go and say we want to quickly preview this file. And you can see those changes that we've been busy editing is already in the preview as well. I can download the file, I can edit the file. There's some more actions. I can share the file, I can share a link, I can copy, I can follow the file so I get notified when any changes to this file has been made. So Filer already provides us with quite a comprehensive way of collaborating without you needing to go to full-blown Windows 365. Quite interestingly, on the roadmap for the future is to integrate access to documents on the Windows 365 platform also within Filer. Filer allows you to keep those critical and sensitive documents locally on premise that foreign actors cannot get access to the information stored in the cloud. This is one of the biggest advantages why organizations are using Filer, is to protect their critical information and ensuring that they have full control on who has access to those documents, but creating at the same time a cloud experience for your end users in the process. Okay, if you have any questions with regards to this, you're welcome to post any questions with regards to this. I've enabled the chat now in the meantime, so if anyone wants to ask questions, and I've opened up the Q&A for so long, so you can start to post some of your questions as we move on to the next item, which will be accessing cloud applications with Access Manager. Okay, I think quite often you have cloud applications that you need your users to be able to use. And it is very important that you still provision access securely to those cloud applications so that users don't need to use a separate login ID and credential for that purpose. I'm just going to demonstrate a very quick way on how we at NETCB is using the cloud-based access in terms of that. I'm just going to open up a quick browser here. Just give me a second as I bring it across. One of our own systems that we are using is the GroupEye Video Conferencing Administration Console, which is, interestingly enough, running on the AWS platform. So I'm quickly going to log in here as myself. And you'll see immediately I have now authenticated into this platform. I, in fact, did not log in with a separate user login credentials. I logged in through the credentials that are my eDirectory, or it could have been my Active Directory credentials of my on-premise directory service, because the access was managed by Access Manager from OpenText. We also use it for our help desk system. So if I quickly go to the NETCB support desk, and you'll notice that because I've already authenticated, it is actually taking me straight into it. If I quickly going to log out of here, let me just quickly log out of here. I'm just going to quickly sign out and close this browser session and open up a new tab and close that tab. And I'm going back again. And you'll see now I get prompted by Access Manager to log in. The reason why it authenticated me already is because it did a single sign-on for me. Because I already authenticated on Access Manager on our portal administration for our group-wise video conferencing add-on, it already allowed me to gain access to another application I'm authorized to use. But after I've logged out from that application and cleared my session, I can now again sign in, and it will take me straight into Zendesk, which is an application residing in the cloud. So it is a very quick way to allow control from a central point, from your on-premise directory services, to provision people and provide access to cloud applications by using the Access Manager system from OpenText. Hendrik, I'm not sure if you wanted to add anything to this.
Well, I mean, just to add to what Kobus is saying about Access Manager, it includes a host of features in securing your cloud applications as well as on-premise web-based applications. Some of those features include things like policy-based authentication, etc. So instead of just applying the classic sense of authentication of username and password, you can start to strengthen that by adding additional multi-factor components that includes biometrics, things like that. And only based on that does it allow you access to various applications. So from a security perspective, perhaps the financial application needs to be more secure than something like the intranet. So if you want to authenticate to the intranet, perhaps it will only present you with something like a username and password, which is nowadays bad practice. But if you wanted to access a system with higher security, something like a username and password plus something like biometric authentication or token, etc., is presented. So it's actually got a host of functionalities. But yeah, if you'd like to have a specific session or demonstration or more information on the solution, feel free to reach out to us.
Okay. I noticed that there was a question asked by Kobus Benamir. Does Filer support versioning of documents yet? In response to the question, yes. The next releases of Filer are going to support versioning with full versioning capabilities. Obviously, there's certain storage mechanisms that still need to be sorted out when it's on a stored on a file system such as NSS, etc. But that will also become supported in the future, if it's not already. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to implement the latest version of Filer. It's still in beta testing at the moment. So we have not deployed that within our environment as yet. But there's already move to support versioning, etc. in that environment. Okay. Hendrik, you want to guide us a little bit through multi-factor authentication?
Yes, let me share my screen. I've just got 3 or 4 slides to go through, so I won't bore people too much. So I call this the 1-minute multi-factor authentication. Cobus will be showing some additional things from his side. But from my side, I just quickly wanted to take everybody through a couple of slides. Let me just go to the first one. So firstly, this might sound stupid, but we need to look at exactly what is authentication really. So authentication is about proving that you are who you say you are. In other words, validating your identity or authenticating your identity. So the most simplest form of actually proving that who you say you are, is by using something like a username and password. Because theoretically, only you are supposed to know that password, but we all know that's not reality anymore. So in a logical sense, authorization happens after authentication. So you first need to identify who you are, then based on your identity, your profile within the organization, your relationship with the organization or the systems, that then determines what level of authorization you have to the different applications, etc. So some of the factors that we call that is being used, or the most common factors that we employ nowadays to authenticate, to prove you are who you say you are things like something you know, which is typically a username and password, something you have, like a smartphone or a USB key, something to that effect, and then also something you are, like a fingerprint, proving who you are. So a fingerprint, a retina or facial scan, etc. All those are different factors. Now, the next slide really talks to what is multi-factor authentication. So multi-factor authentication is really a combination of those different factors. Now, keep in mind, to have multi-factor authentication, you need to employ 2 or more of those factors. Okay. So making use of a username and password, as well as a PIN perhaps that is not being received via a smartphone or SMS or something to that effect, is not multi-factor authentication, because those are all one factor. They're all something that you know. So it is important to combine different factors. So something that you know, username, password, etc. Something that you have, something like a USB key or a smartphone that can receive a OTP or a SMS token or something like that. And then thirdly, something that you are. And having these as a combination. And you can also, have multiple ones chained together. So it doesn't need to be just something you have and something you know. It can be all 3 or more factors included. And then lastly, so why would you implement multi-factor authentication? Firstly, obviously, to improve your security. So, in general, that's a great way of improving your overall system security. Reduce the impact of social engineering attacks and phishing attacks. So Cobus mentioned this earlier. The biggest attack vector nowadays is social engineering attacks and phishing attacks. So it's not somebody who sits and hacks your environment, all clever hacker guys. It's most of the time, it's pure common criminals that manage to get access to existing user credentials, something like a username and password that they harvested through a phishing site. And they use that to gain access to the system. The best way to prevent that is employing something like multi-factor authentication that now not only requests username and password, but also something that the user needs to have. Okay. Avoid audit findings. So if you start to do security assessments, etc., by default, nowadays, if you don't have multi-factor authentication, it is considered a finding, and it is considered a critical finding. And it also assists you to practice due care and due diligence within your environment. And lastly, there's this concept that it's difficult to configure multi-factor authentication, and that's not true. So firstly, you have options nowadays to either configure the multi-factor authentication within the application natively, something like Office 365, etc. Alternatively, we have solutions that you can bolt on top of existing applications that enable multi-factor authentication. And that's it from the slideshows. Kobus, have you got something you wanted to show?
Oh, yes. Let me just quickly share something here. I just need to follow up on what you've actually just spoken about. Now, to actually see multi-factor authentication in action, let me just quickly see what, share again. There we go. Now, one of the systems that we use for our email archiving is called OpenText Retain. And also with OpenText Retain, we have enabled multi-factor authentication. And I'm quickly going to sign on to my Retain at the moment. And you will notice that once I sign in, immediately the advanced authentication mechanism from OpenText is kicking in. And in this case, I have a couple of mechanisms I can use. I can use my smartphone, I can get the SMS OTP, or I can say just a simple password, or the system from Miracle. Miracle is also joining us for a presentation later on their multi-factor, to simplify multi-factor authentication as well within an environment, fully integrated with advanced authentication from OpenText. So I can quickly go here to Windows Hello. Windows Hello actually will ask me to use my fingerprint. So I'm going to put my finger on my fingerprint scanner, and you can see it has authenticated me. I can also log out. And just to show you, if I use another mechanism, I need to log out completely and close the tab. Otherwise, the session is still active. So let's quickly just go back to Retain.
Just to add to what Kobus is actually showcasing here, is that Retain natively does not necessarily support multi-factor authentication. So there's no function that you can automatically configure in Retain to enable multi-factor authentication. So this really is just to show our solution that you can literally deploy on top of existing applications, thereby protecting them with multi-factor authentication.
Yeah, go in again. Because it has cached my session details now for all. There's a time frame before that I've actually set it before it will prompt me again for a multi-factor authentication on this particular profile. But we have different mechanisms, and you are welcome to visit us during our stand to learn a little bit more about multi-factor authentication. Now, one of the other things that I just quickly want to highlight are things that is of interest to everyone here at net.Share. Will, for example, be from the guys from Backup Eagle. If you really want to understand what your status is of your backups, especially when you have multiple backup platforms, or want to know whether your backups are fully compliant in terms of generating compliance reports for your auditors, Backup Eagle provides a very comprehensive platform that analyzes your backups. If you could quickly see here in this scenario, there's even information with regards to what percentage of my backups may have failed recently. It even identified some systems that's not being backed up at the moment. So immediately I know I need to go and make changes to my backup environment. And I see we're almost out of time, and I just need to bring up one last session quickly for you before it closes the session automatically. And
Oh,
slowness of response on my. If we look at NETCB, for example, a very comprehensive backup solution, widest range of support matrix, please attend the sessions from SCP, and they are actually going to delve deep into their capabilities and what you will be able to do using their platforms and systems. I just could see if my browser session has opened up. Quickly bring up that browser. So I'm just finding the correct. I've got so many browsers open at the moment. Let me just bring up the correct one. There we go. And I'm quickly going to close that tab quickly. See, this Microsoft Edge browser is not playing well with me at the moment. And there we go. And as you can see, NETCB today provides a very comprehensive web interface. You can also monitor what is going on with your backups. If I quickly check my last backup state to see which backups may have had a problem. And as you can see, there was an issue with this retained backup. If I quickly want to see whether there's what's the current status of my successful backups, obviously I can see I've got the majority of my backups have been successful last night. If I quickly want to restore, I've got a really interesting mechanism to restore files and directories, or even virtual machines. If I go and quickly want to say I want to restore a virtual machine, let's say I want to restore a file from one of my servers, I can quickly go here and say, at the bottom, I can even do a single file restore from a virtual machine that's been backed up. But I invite you to please attend the sessions from SCP to learn a lot more about this very comprehensive backup platform that quite a number of our clients started using. It's also basically the only real backup solution if you're running the traditional Novell technologies or Open Enterprise Server or GroupWise, then you should be using SCP to make sure that those backups are in fact secure. So that brings it to the end of our technology showcase. I thank you very much for attending this session, and I really hope that you learned a little bit of this things that we do have. So attend many of the sessions or visit our booth for more details. And I thank you. The next sessions will start at 11 o'clock. I can think it is now around about 10 to 11. So it's time to take a quick break so that if you need to make some coffee or maybe get some more colleagues to join. I see some people have forgotten to join this morning. Please remind them. But please make sure that we now start with the breakout sessions. And then at 2 o'clock, there's a keynote session by Anna Collard. She's one of the most well-known women in IT in South Africa and also on the rest of the continent. So I really invite you to make sure to, at 2 o'clock today, to join the session by Anna Collard as well, which will be a keynote session. But we are now starting with our breakout sessions at 11 o'clock. Thank you very much.